Welcome to our time together on this Shabbos right after Yom Kippur, Parshas Ha'azinu. Ha'azinu, of course, cries out to us to give ear. Ha'azinu Hashamayim, O heavens, give ear, and Va'adabeira, and I will speak, V'sishma ha'oretz imrei fi, and the earth, the people on earth, will hear the words of my mouth. Now this Shira is, of course, the focus of the giving of the song, the poetic song of the future of the Jewish people. As the Ramban points out, within this beautiful poem of Ha'azinu is the entire history of the Jewish people. Have you ever thought about the word history? What does history mean? I'd like to propose that history is really his story. It's the story of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's creation of the world, and the people in it, and the people of the book, Klal Yisrael, that have received the Torah, whose job it is to enhance the world through the observance and the teaching of this Torah. In fact, the Pasuk at Sheni says, Zechor Yemos Olam, remember the days of yore, Binu Shinos Dor Vador, and understand the years of generation to generation. Sha'al avicha v'yageitcha, ask your father, and he will tell you. Zekeinecha, your grandfathers, v'yomru loch, and they will tell it to you. And the Oznayim La Torah, in his beautiful parish on the Chumash, says the following words: Mitzvah al kol Adam. It is a mitzvah. I'll call echad ve'echad. It's a mitzvah on each and every Jew to zechor yemos olam, because zechor is singular. You have to remember the days of yore. Now, how are we going to remember the days of yore? We're here, not in the days of yore. So the Torah says, Sha'al avicha v'yageitcha. Ask your father, and he will tell you. As the Ramban says, this is a crucial piece of information. Ask your father about the Yetzias Mitzrayim. Ask your fathers. Go back in history. Ask your grandfathers, because the entire saga of Klal Yisrael is intertwined with the listening to the words of our past that comes from our fathers and grandfathers. This past Yom Kippur, right before Yizkor, I told a story. I'm going to repeat the story very quickly, but I want to tell you what happened after. I told a story about some American soldiers that liberated one of the concentration camps, and there was nothing but skin and bones on the children. And there was one particular child that was buried under a pile of clothing that he saved, and he started hugging the child. And all the children that until then were on line to get food because they hadn't eaten in days, and the American kitchen was set up to give them some soup. They couldn't take the candy bars because it would have killed them. To take the soup, all of the children left the soup line to get online to get a hug from this American Jewish soldier, because the spiritual connection, the emotional connection was so important. So this was a powerful, powerful story about how Hashem is our Savior, and He hugs us on Yom Kippur. After Musaf, Mr. Moshe Yosef Krakauer came up to the bima, and he gave me a hug, and he said to me, B'didi have uvda. This story happened to me. I was a child in the concentration camp, and I was taken to the hospital so that they could feed me by a dropper, slowly but surely, so that I could be saved. And I saw when children were given the candy bars how sick they got. And this saved my life. And you brought tears to my eyes, he said, when you said the story. I didn't have to tell the story. I could have gone over to him and asked him, tell me about your life. Tell me about your past. Tell me about your being a Jew despite going through such horrors. How did you maintain your faith? Look at you. You have children, grandchildren. What a gift from Hashem. Says the Pasuk, Zechor Yemos Olam. Every Jew has to remember the days of yore. Binu shnos dor vador. And the binu means understand. because it's impossible for us to understand what history means until we talk to the Chachamim, until we talk to the sages. We can hear the history, but what do we do with the history? If all we do with the history is just know the facts, we're not binu shnos dovrador. We're not understanding the years of yore. What we need to do is get a handle on the understanding. And if we talk to our sages and we talk to our elders, when we sit in the sukkah and talk about this, when we sit at the Pesach Seder and talk about this, why are we sitting in the sukkah? Why are we eating matzah? Ki basukos hoshafti es b'nei Yisrael b'otzi yosam me'eretz Mitzrayim. Because this is what we did when we left Egypt. Remember the days of yore. Binu shnos dovrador, and remember and understand his story. And you'll see the spark of Jewish existence shining through in the history of the world. That is give ear in Parshas Ha'azinu. And that's let's hear what the generations have to say. Have a wonderful Shabbos.